I bet I could wear this hunting. It probably would qualify, wouldn't it? No? What? When you go hunting, you have to wear, you typically a bright orange.
should wear that.
I'm thinking this would stand out plenty. Okay. Good evening. Welcome to the Monday, October 14th, 2024 City of West Point Business Meeting. We'd like to begin the meeting with a prayer by the Reverend Gerald Ledbetter.
Let's pray. God, we do thank you for the day. We thank you for your goodness and grace, for the city, for the fact that we are working together to make this community a better place for all. In the name of Christ. Amen.
Amen. If you'll please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, I'd like to call the business meeting to order. Council, you have the minutes from the September 9th, 2024 business meeting in your information packet. Do I hear a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
Second. Motion to second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? You also have the financial report in your information packet. Do I hear a motion to approve the financial report?
So moved.
Motion?
Second.
Second. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Tonight, we'll have monthly reports from the city clerk, the economic development, HR, finance, and the city manager. And the agenda tonight will be the Historic Preservation Committee appointment, the agreement between West Point Development Authority and the City of West Point for project site development, and the West Point Christmas on the Hooch sponsorship. So do I hear a motion to approve the meeting agenda? Second?
Second.
All in discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, we'll start with the Historic Preservation Commission appointment. Oh, wait. Back up. Let's do the monthly reports. I'm not used to that. I gotta back up. All right, we'll start with the city clerk. Are you kidding? We're gonna get Richard up here? All right.
I'll just give y'all a brief report on all this. It should be, some of this is in your packet. But outside of the day-to-day operation as far as the city hall is concerned, we had 4 new business licenses in August. We had 6 new utility services, and we had 5 open records requests. Most of those open record requests was directed for the police department. And I just wanted to report that we had property tax have been mailed out. You all should have them. So, and we've already started the collection. And outside of that, I wanted to add to it was that Troup County, Shane Presley is going to allow one of his representatives to be down here on Wednesday, November the 6th, from 9 to 4:30 to collect property taxes. He's been doing that for the last several years, and that would help some of our citizens won't have to go all the way to Harris County to pay the taxes. I mean, well, Troup County. Yeah, Shane's at Troup County. I said Harris. And outside of that, that concludes my report, unless y'all have any direct questions.
Anybody got any questions for him?
Thank y'all.
Thank you. All right, next we have economic development.
Good evening, Mayor Trammell and City Council. My name is Megan Richardson. I am the Economic Development Director for the City of West Point. And my role as Economic Development Director is to support the mission of the West Point Development Authority and the Downtown West Point Development Authority, provide economic development services directly to the city. The West Point Development Authority and Downtown West Point Development Authority meet monthly. The West Point Development Authority meeting is held on the 4th Monday of each month at 12 o'clock noon here at City Hall. And the Downtown West Point Development Authority meets on the 2nd Tuesday of each month at 9:15 a.m. here at City Hall. Both the West Point Development Authority and Downtown Development Authority have 2 new members serving this year. In April of 2024, the University of Georgia Carl Vinson Institute provided Development Authority training for both the West Point Development Authority and Downtown West Point Development Authority, which is state-mandated training for Development Authority members. Tonight, I will provide an update on both the Downtown West Point Development Authority and West Point Development Authority, starting with the Downtown West Point Development Authority. Last October 2023, the Downtown West Point Development Authority applied to Georgia Department of Natural Resources for a recreational trail grant. The project consists of a 0.3-mile ADA accessible concrete trail creating a river walk on the banks of the Chattahoochee River in West Point, Georgia. The proposed trail would connect to the existing 0.2-mile loop in the river park. For rest and observation along the river banks, we will have wildlife viewing platforms out of the way of pedestrian traffic on the trail. This project also incorporates signage. In April, we were invited to the second level application, which consists of many environmental reviews by state agencies. Before the application is submitted to the Federal Highway Administration, which took place in September. The Downtown Development Authority will be resealing and restriping the parking lot located behind the New Horizon Theater between 7th and 4th Avenue. They just approved that last week, so we will get that scheduled soon. The Downtown Development Authority offers a facade grant, which is a 50-50 matching reimbursement grant up to $1,500 for improvements to the exterior of a storefront and or signage for a business locally designated in the downtown central business district. Over the past 12 months, the Downtown Development Authority has engaged a social media management on our historic West Point social media platforms, Facebook and Instagram. There are 3 posts weekly focused on local West Point businesses, events, and people. Our audience is the Greater Valley area and beyond. There are several events taking place in downtown West Point. First, the Mary Market at Borough Warehouse is the first weekend of November. This is the event's 5th year in downtown West Point. It is a ticketed event with early bird on November 1st at $10 and Saturday, November 2nd at $5. Point University's homecoming is scheduled also for the first weekend in November, November 1st and 2nd. It includes a 5K and a 1-mile color run. The City of West Point's Christmas tree lighting is scheduled for Monday, December 2nd at 5:30 at JSL Park. And Christmas on the Hooch is scheduled for Saturday, December 7th from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. It is a community event and free to attend. I have submitted a letter of intent for the Georgia Economic Placemaking Collaborative. The Georgia Economic Placemaking Collaborative is a 2-year place-based economic development program that provides participating communities with education, facilitation, technical assistance, networking, peer learning, and incentives to help identify their community assets and develop a locally based placemaking strategy. The application deadline is December 1st. I will assemble a community team which is required to participate in the collaborative. Each community team consists of elected officials, staff, city staff, members of the Downtown Development Authority, Chamber of Commerce, faith-based organizations, business owner operators, and residents. Now to the West Point Development Authority. The West Point Development Authority will be moving forward with a hotel anchor mixed-use development on the old Coca-Cola site. This will be a phased development with a hotel first. Earlier this month, the West Point Development Authority executed a letter of intent with Premier Hotel Corporation, a leading professional hotel company. Premier Hotel Corporation provides property management, asset management, and development services through the United States and Canada for full service, limited service, and extended stay hotels. The letter of intent is a completely non-binding document. The LOI is essential for Premier Hotel Corporation to submit a franchise application for a nationally recognized hotel brand location in West Point. We anticipate Premier Hotel Corporation will have an executed franchise agreement by the end of the year. The remaining parcels will be marketed for drive-through, quick service restaurant, coffee, and multi-tenant shopping development. Demolition has begun on the Coca-Cola building. Currently, the steel is being removed and recycled by Teague and should take 3 to 6 weeks depending on weather. In February, the West Point Development Authority applied to the United States Department of Agriculture for a Rural Business Development Grant for training and technical assistance. I partnered with Retail Strategies, which provided grant writing assistance for their Retail Academy program, which the grant funding was used toward. Retail Academy is a retail recruitment course for city leaders looking to maximize retail opportunities. It's a 12-month partnership. Last Wednesday, we spent 8 hours in Opelika with Retail Strategies for our workshop, which was a tailored course complete with custom data and reports, retail trends, and targeted retailers that match the real estate in West Point. 2 members of the Development Authority, along with Mr. Moon, Mayor Trammell, and I attended. We will have quarterly meetings with Retail Strategies, as well as access to a library of resources. I want to share about Kimball's Corrections. We'll have an open house this Wednesday, October 16th, from 3 to 6 at their new West Point facility, located at 1233 OG Skinner in West Point Technology Business Park. Kimball's is a fast-growing nationwide fintech company that develops and uses state-of-the-art technology to provide financial solutions to law enforcement facilities. Kimball's has 76 employees at the West Point location. A few other items. In August, the Georgia Department of Economic Development hosted their quarterly board meeting at the Kia Training Center in West Point. Hyundai Mobis held a junior engineering event at West Point Elementary School for 5th graders. I spoke at the West Point Rotary meeting, and I recently completed and graduated from the Georgia Academy for Economic Development. I attended the Georgia Downtown Conference in Thomasville, Georgia in August, and then also this Friday, we will have our paddle cleanup with the Chattahoochee River Keepers. We have 16 volunteers signed up and have space for 14 more. We will meet Friday morning at 8:30 and plan to wrap up by 11:30. That's all I have.
Any questions? Thank you. Next, we have HR.
Good evening. Mayor and Council, my name is Lashika Ward. I am Human Resources Director for the City of West Point. I will provide for you employee overview for the month of August. During the month of August, we were at a total of 106 employees, 93 full-time, 13 part-time. We hired 6 new employees during the month, 1 part-time water treatment plant operator, a certified police officer, a non-certified police officer, a sanitation driver, utility gas worker, deputy fire chief. We had, there were 6 openings during the month of August, 2 part-time in the fire department and 4 in our police department. There was 1 resignation accepted during the month of August. There were 2 open workers' comp claims, one of which has returned to work and is doing quite well. For the month of August, our department recognition goes to the electric department that received the Jeff Cook Award for Safety Excellence. This award recognizes exceptional safety standards and records, highlighting cities that maintain high safety protocols. So congratulations to our electric department on that accomplishment. Back at the beginning of the year, I decided that we needed to recognize our employees for their work anniversaries. I know most companies recognize you for your birthdays, but I decided that it would be a nice gesture to acknowledge our employees for their dedications to the city. During the month of August, we had 5 employees to celebrate work anniversaries for the month. Congratulatory cards were personalized, handwritten, and mailed to each of the following employees. Siobhan Hanby, Dispatch, 1 year of employment. Dontavius Tucker, Public Works Maintenance, 1 year. Andrew Evans, Public Works Maintenance, 6 years. And we had 2 employees within 11 days of each other to celebrate 34 years as being employed with the City of West Point. Our very own City Clerk, Richard McCoy, and our Public Works Director, Roderick Palmer. 34 years is not just a milestone, it is a legacy. Thank you both again for over 3 decades of relentless dedication and your willingness to serve the City of West Point. Congratulations. And that's all I have.
Thank you. Any questions? All right, thank you. All right. And we have finance.
Good evening. My name is Renisha Patrick, Finance Director, reporting finances for the month of August 2024. Finance, the August report is 66% of the total budget, and it reads for the following said department entities. The first number that I'll read for you will be the expenses, and the second number will be the revenue. General government, 73%. Revenue, 44%. 911 communications, 76%. 62%. Water and sewer, 85%. The revenue is 76%. Electric, 59%. 62%. Gas is 63% with 74%, and sanitation is 78%, 56%. Please note that these numbers are also in your packets. The only other note that I'll make today is the departments have submitted their budgets as stated by the city clerk, and the city manager is compiling the draft budget document. That is my report for today.
You make the hardest report. Numbers are the hardest report.
I know.
Anybody
There are
have any
no
questions?
Thank you.
And finally, city manager.
Good afternoon. Sandra, that sun's right in your face. Got a couple of things for you. For my report, there's a new House Bill 581 that will be on the November ballot this time. And it is a floating homestead exemption and floating local option sales tax. There's three components to this. One is procedural changes that the state has put in place over property tax assessment appeals. That will affect the counties only. We don't do assessments or appeals at the city level, so all that will be something that the county will be dealing with. However, each entity will be looking at doing a homestead exemption in their local jurisdiction. So that would be for the city to consider. It is an option, it's not required, but even if it's approved by the voters in November, which it probably will since we're giving ourselves an exemption on taxes, the city can still opt in or out of the exemption. Will only be on residentially owned property, so no commercial property, no rental properties. The local option sales tax will be for backfill basically for this homestead exemption. So you'll be able to put a sales tax in place, or the county will. It'll be done the same as the lost and as lost, so that we can generate revenue from sales tax that then would take the place of those revenues that'll be lost for the homestead exemption. There's a lot to talk about in that. At the next work session, we'll have some more detail to kind of go over things a little bit more, get y'all some more information on it. Again, it'll be on the ballot. It's not something that we have to vote on now or in November. It's something that the council would have to consider going forward, so we'll talk more about that in the next work session. There's another state law, it's House Bill 461. It's already in place. It has created some new standards for regulatory fees. So that includes all types of regulatory fees, but specifically what it was really impacting was the fees that you pay for permits. This is really something that was created in the metro Atlanta area where their permit fees had really gotten expensive. They were taking those dollars and using those for their general fund. So it had created an issue up there. The legislators were getting complaints about it, so they put in place a law that really affects all of us. So what they've said is that no local government, no county, no city can take funds from those fees, those regulatory fees, and use that to fund their general government. That's really the meat of what the law is there for. It is to be used for your regulatory department. So for us, our planning department has our building official, code enforcement there. I can tell you in the 17 years that we've had a planning department, it's never generated enough revenue to pay its budget. So there's no danger of us having violated that in the past. The issue is coming from the fact that there is a new calculation for those fees on building permits. So it was valuation of the project. So your project was $20,000, that's what you paid your fee on. Now it's a square footage requirement. We have sometimes we have very large square footage projects here in the city. So it's creating a conflict with contractors between the city and the contractor on those fees. So it's something that we're working through right now. I wanted y'all to be aware of it. We may talk more about it. I mean, we certainly can talk about it if y'all want to, but I don't know that it's gonna be an issue going forward. I just want y'all to be aware that law is out there. And it's something that we're having to deal with. Dennis's department certainly having to deal with that as an issue moving forward. The signal at East 8th Street and 2nd Avenue that we've been talking about, I had a call with DOT last week, and they are requesting a intersection control evaluation on that. So I've already sent to the engineer requesting that they perform that evaluation. Some good news out of that call, they did say that they would like to have a partnership with the city in potentially putting in ped crossings at this intersection at 8th and 10th Street while we're doing this project, which would be beneficial. But we have a lot of pedestrians to cross right here, so I think that would be a good thing to come out of this. Potentially, they would provide all the equipment and we would just do the installation, since we're already gonna be in there doing some work. I also talked with him about Kia Parkway and Webb Bartley Road. There's been some discussions about that since there was a fatality accident out there a month or so ago. We talked about putting up some additional signage, putting some changes to the signals out there, and possibly doing some speed detection signs out there. The police have been really working that area, as they work all areas, but have been doing some good traffic enforcement out there. So I think things have slowed down out there. The statistics show that they're really not speed-related accidents that we're having. It's other variables, but anything we can do to help get people's attention at those intersections, I think would be a good thing. And last, I want to recognize Kristen Lester and Lashika Ward on their certification as city clerks. I think most everybody's seen that on social media. It always beats us to the punch to get to talk about things, but it's very, very well deserved recognition, as it's a challenge, you know, like all things, to get that certification. A lot of work, so we certainly appreciate their efforts in getting that done.
Do you have any questions? Okay, thank you. All right, now we'll start with the agenda. So, first one is the Historic Preservation Committee appointment. Do I hear a motion to appoint Marshall Sapp to the Historic Preservation Committee for a 3-year term?
So moved.
Yeah. You moved, okay. Second? Second. It's moved and second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. The next is the agreement between the West Point Development Authority and the City of West Point for project site development. Do I hear a motion to approve an agreement between West Point Development Authority and the City of West Point for project site development?
So moved.
Do I have a motion? Second. Do I have a second? Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you for saving me from all that reading. Okay, next we have the West Point Christmas on the Hooch sponsorship. And that one we have, last year, we did $5,000, as did both the development authorities, and they're doing it again this year, so that would be the recommended. So if somebody wants to make a motion and fill in the blank there. Do I hear a motion to approve a sponsorship for the Christmas on the Hooch community event on December 7th, 2024?
So moved, $5,000.
Thank you. Second, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, any announcements? Anything coming up? No? Okay. Well, that's all the business for this meeting. The next work session will be Tuesday, October 29th at 5:30 PM, and the business meeting will be Monday, November 11th. Can I have a motion to adjourn? So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Stay on steady. All right, y'all have a good night.